Sometimes you gotta bend so you don't break. Used to feel at my wits and learn to meditate. Had to be alone, get away from home. I am not in Kansas. Investments on the mind. I am body grinding the Stu Pro Tools the canvas. My FaceTime me just to say, sweetie, wear your mask in the booth. I laugh it off, get my word on well, then I throw a fit to the task is through. Who do you think gonna do this if I don't do it for myself? Nobody else. Took time from writing. Excitement is all I felt. Feel like it's
The Batman 2022, directed by Matt Reeves. It's terrible. I'm sorry. I wanted to love this movie. I wanted to absolutely admire and adore this movie. I thought it would be phenomenal. I thought that throughout the pandemic, I worked my ass off. I LLC'd my company, Tribe Trinity. I dealt with the worst breakup with my ex. But this movie is my motivation. This movie was supposed to be a summation of everything I had been through, and it was supposed to make it okay. But it didn't. Maybe that's my fault. I put way too much faith in this movie, but I'm gonna tell you something. This is gonna be a spoiler review. I'm gonna try not to rant, but I got some shit to say because I'm surprised. I'm very surprised that after Christopher Nolan set the bar so high, this movie dropped the ball. It dropped the batarang, y'all. There wasn't a batarang thrown in this movie. Let me relax. I'm sorry. Okay. Robert Pattinson, dope choice as Batman / Bruce Wayne. Execution, How you give Batman like 7 words to say throughout the whole movie? Speaking of 7, Matt Reeves supposedly drew inspiration from that movie with Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt. 10 out of 10 movie. Great villain. Like, beautiful movie. Very well shot, dark, gritty. You could see that they were trying to go for those type of tones with this movie, the cinematography, the atmosphere. But Batman himself was lacking. His tech was decent, but let's keep it real. Daredevil from Netflix would whip this Batman's ass. Christopher Nolan's Batman would whip this Batman's ass. His tech alone would incapacitate this Batman. I think the coolest thing this Batman had was the contact lenses that actually were cameras. But it was lo-fi camera. How the hell you got like 1K in your cameras for you to review crime scenes after recording them? I don't understand. Like, it was really bad quality cameras. The footage he was reviewing was like purple or like this or pink. It wasn't even colored. How you know the difference in the scenes that you're watching when everything is the same color, Bruce? But I blame Alfred for that. Because apparently Alfred's the one that helped you build your tech, and Alfred's the one that taught you how to fight. Not the League of Shadows, but Alfred. Who you weren't even communicating with. I'm talking to Batman right now. Batman wasn't even communicating with Alfred on a consistent basis throughout the movie. They called each other over the phone. He called Alfred over the phone to stop him from opening a letter that almost killed Alfred. What is that even? You're Batman and Alfred. Y'all supposed to have a bat link or some type of constant communication. They dropped the ball, y'all. See, y'all may think this is nitpicky, but this is Batman shit. All right? Batman is supposed to be strategic. He's supposed to be innovative. He's supposed to be, I am the shadows. You're not the shadows. You weren't the shadows in this movie. You barely crept out of the shadows properly. You were laughable coming out of the shadows. The goons laughed at you. Nobody took Batman seriously in this movie. He asked people, you know who I am? Yes, everyone knows who you are. They see the signal every night, Batman. Do you know who you are? Batman did not know who he was in this movie. He was emotional. He was angry, but not. He picked and chose when he was going to be super angry and when he was just going to be quiet and like not interesting at all. Walking on the crime scenes. A whole vigilante. The police just staring him down. Batman had a bomb blow up in his face after not being able to help a man get out the bomb. Batman should have had tools to be able to take the bomb off. I don't know. That's just my thinking of how Batman works. But then the bomb blows up in Batman's face. Not a scratch on him. Cool, he's Batman. But then he gets knocked out. I didn't understand this decision in the movie. You knock Batman out. He ends up in police custody. They didn't take his helmet off to make sure he ain't break his neck. I mean, I feel like the first thing that would have happened is that they would have taken him to the hospital. But they take him to police custody. He wakes up, suit still on, mask still on. At least in the Nolan trilogy, when they tried to take his mask off, they got shocked because it's like a failsafe or something like that. In this movie, he wakes up on a table, goofy as hell, incapacitated. They never took his utility belt. He has all his weapons still. It doesn't make any sense. There's a scene that we all saw in the commercials where Batman punches Gordon because it's Gordon's idea. It wasn't even Batman's idea to get the cops to think that they weren't working together by Batman punching Gordon. Gordon told Batman to do this. Then tells Batman how to get out the building. Batman should have already known how to get out the building. But it's fine. Batman punches Gordon, dips, slow ass fucking grapple gun, gets him out of there, and then he jumps off the roof of Gotham PD with the squirrel suit. The squirrel suit. Now the way he executed it, when he pulled the little strap and everything, is cool, but you're supposed to be grounded and practical, but it made no sense how that suit enveloped his body. I'm somewhat of an intellectual, but damn, this is just like logic and reason and practicality and the law of physics. It just didn't apply on certain parts. You got a super grounded movie 1 minute, then you got the laws of physics not being applied the next half. I don't understand. I didn't even like the way they started off the movie with the Riddler. The Riddler was whack, y'all. I'm trying to stay on topic with things. You know, we kind of got past Batman. Low dialogue, wasn't witty, wasn't really that smart. Easy ass fucking clues to figure out. What does a liar do when he's dead? He lies still. These are the kind of riddles that Batman was solving, y'all. And they didn't even give it time to process like they did with the Val Kilmer. At least in Batman Forever, you had a full-on scene where Val Kilmer and Alfred had to contemplate and figure out riddles. Jim Carrey was a much better Riddler. This Riddler was garbage. I hated his costume. I wanted to like it. I hated his costume. Paul Dano was goofy as hell. He was manic for no reason. Why is every villain since The Dark Knight a derivative of Heath Ledger's Joker? Why? And they're never as good. The bar was set so high by Christopher Nolan. Falcone wasn't needed in this movie. Penguin was cool. Best character in the movie, in my opinion. Best makeup. Wasn't true to the character. He was just too much of a mob boss. And he wasn't even the boss. Falcone wasn't. Falcone wasn't even a boss. Falcone was supposed to be Catwoman's dad. And he ain't know this. But he been rolling her around everywhere as his escort. And I'm just trying to figure out, this is weird. This is a weird scenario and situation. Anyway, you could have cut 50 minutes of this movie. I love that it was a 3-hour Batman movie, but it wasn't a 3-hour Batman movie. It was a 3-hour wannabe psychological thriller and crime mystery. The detective elements were very weak in this movie. I'm just saying it. Y'all can hate me. Whoever loved this movie, God bless you. I really, really wanted to love it. But this makes me want to see Ben Affleck's Batman again. His Batman was the coolest thing about that whole scenario, but I just don't know what they were thinking. I don't know why you would ground Batman even more than Christopher Nolan's Batman, just to make him weak, not very intimidating, and the tone get messed up because it's supposed to be dark and serious, and Batman was just kind of too brooding and depressed, and he didn't impress me, yo. Catwoman was not Catwoman. Selena Kyle in this movie was a mixed, beautiful young lady who would not be able to knock down a pillar of sand in a gym. Her fighting skills were cool, but she couldn't shoot for shit. She should have never held a gun in this movie. Her whip was damn near non-existent. Her mask was awful. I get it, cat burglar mask. Didn't do it for me. And that's cool. I'm just a guy. I'm just a man with a plan who does his best to understand. But this is Batman, y'all. This is Batman. And we're supposed to want more out of our filmography these days. The bar's been set too high. How the hell was the chase scene the best scene in the whole movie when Batman gets in his Batmobile? But how'd he get in the Batmobile? How'd he get in the Batmobile? Penguin comes out, hey, Justice, boom. Boom, shoots Batman, point blank range, Batman's on the ground. How the hell, a couple seconds later, what he crawl? What he roll? 50 feet away into the Batmobile. He's in the Batmobile now. He's revving it up. It was a cool scene. The sound effects were great. Cool. The car looked dope as fuck. But he's revving the car up while Penguin is on foot. He gives Penguin time to go get in his own car and speed off for Batman to chase him, which ended up killing about like 12 minimum pedestrians. I'm sorry. These things have to be pointed out. Batman had a really strict no-killing law in this movie, apparently, smacking guns out of Catwoman's hand and shit. Yet, he definitely killed a couple people in this movie. And it was just glossed over. I don't understand. He chased Penguin down in that car just to hit Penguin's car and flip him, which was kind of dope. But you could have even killed Penguin. What were you really doing in this movie, Batman? You did not prevent the Riddler from killing anyone. You did not prevent the Riddler from flooding the city, which was stupid. It was a minor inconvenience. You flood the entire Gotham City and it's a minor inconvenience. I wish that I was just talking shit, y'all, but I'm not. It's really that bad. I'm looking for things great to say about the movie. It was dark. The tone was right. Batman looked cool. The Batmobile was dope. Batman didn't help anybody. He didn't solve anything. He put some kids onto a helicopter. That was cool. He's a fireman. They turned Batman into a fireman. They turned Batman into a fireman, into a police officer who doesn't prevent crimes from happening, and you barely can solve them. World's greatest detective, y'all. World's greatest detective, apparently. This movie was trash. I'm sorry. As y'all can see, I'm a very devout Batman fan. And one thing I will say is that I think that this is the step in a direction that if enough people point out what was really wrong with this movie, they don't have a choice but to stop with this wannabe grounded, half-woke mess that can potentially become a really, really dope Batman movie. I'm really looking forward to that, if they even do a part 2 to this. I don't know. Batman's arc was kind of whack. I don't mean to be negative. I'm thinking right now, what was dope? What was dope? They had Joker make a cameo at the end, and he was just so lame. I don't want another Joker. Either give me Joaquin Phoenix or just let it be right now. You know, they could have done Mr. Freeze. They could have done Poison Ivy. I'd even take another Bane. Leave Joker alone, because this guy was corny, and he had dialogue with the Riddler, and the Riddler and him were just sounding like two little infantile dudes who have nothing. It was horrible. It was horrible dialogue. I hated it. I'm not even going to imitate it. Joker gave a riddle. Joker gave Riddler a riddle, and it showed you that their characters were just null and void. But, oh my God, I'm going on like 10 minutes now. It's like 12 minutes. Yo, basically, I was disappointed. I get this movie 5 out of 10. A 6 if I'm being generous because of the tone and you know, the practicality and things like that. But overall, this ain't it, y'all. Now, feel free to comment. Let me know what y'all think. You know, we can talk about this. Let's keep it respectful. But movie was trash. But guess what? I got an album coming soon. And that's going to be dope. Y'all stay blessed.
Sometimes you gotta bend so you don't break. Used to feel in my wits and learn to meditate. Had to be alone, get away from home. I am not in Kansas. Investments on the mind. I am body grinding the Stu Pro Tools, the canvas. My FaceTime me just to say, sweetie, wear your mask in the booth. I laugh it off, get my word on well, then I throw it fit to the task. It's through. Who do you think gonna do this if I don't do it for myself? Nobody else. Took time from writing. Excitement is all I felt. Feel like